we are talking about my favorite topic in the world right now. I have come to love branding. I think it's because I get asked so much about it. I also have if you didn't know this, I have a second Instagram. I have multiple Instagram pages, but I have a second Instagram page called Build a Content Machine. And I also have an ebook and more things to come that we will drop down below. I'm pretty sure it should be out by now, but we're working on an academy where you can log in and just learn how to brand, how to take photos, how to do all of the things. And I will leave the information for that down below. Our goal is that it would be up by now. So this is a little bit added pressure for myself. Now, when we're talking branding, I obviously share for free on my Instagram pages, and I share little nuggets of information. I'm gonna try and dive a little bit deeper in today to the extent that I would for the Academy. The Academy is like 6+ modules. We go over branding, how to take photos, how to grow your audience, all the tactics and tools to not only build a side hustle, but just build an audience and do it the right way. But branding, you know, when you land on someone's Instagram and you're like, whoa, that's awesome, it's because you're drawn to the brand. And being able to pinpoint good branding is something that I've kind of become obsessed with and love. And it comes down to many factors, but the three main factors I would say would be color, topics, and emotions. So we just talked about emotions in the last training that we did. On day 24, we talked about, you know, emotions and what you're hopefully evoking in your audience. That's part of your brand. Your brand is trying to evoke a certain emotion in your audience, and your audience is ultimately probably more than likely a bunch of versions of you, or you before you found whatever it is that you're trying to help people with. And so think about those emotions. That needs to become a consistent factor in the way that you post, in the way that you speak, in the way that you converse with your audience. Topics that you speak on, that needs to be either 3 to 5 topics, and you stick within those topics. So for me, I talk a lot about home. That's evolved over the years, but home decor, things that I find, you know, hauls and stuff like that, and like goodies and knickknacks and treasures and whatnot. I talk a lot about motivation and health and routines. I talk about my dog Carl and family and travel. And I kind of encompass that into like just a few topics, and I don't really go outside that. Like, example, how far would you run if I started just randomly talking about politics? You'd be like, this is not why I followed you, boo. Or what if I just became super down in the dumps all of a sudden? Like, my feed is overly bright and colorful. What if it went like stark black and white and I was like, today is a really sad day? Like, what if I became sadness from Inside Out? You would be like, what's wrong with her? She's broken. That's branding. When you're so consistent, you have created a certain precedent for your audience. They know what to expect. You can still, you know, have surprises and stuff in there, but there's a certain consistency. And obviously color is a huge question that I get, you know, with the best preset. That's like the question of the century. What is the best preset? I should say decade. You know, with Lightroom presets, obviously you can figure out your tone and what you want. But I've done videos on this before, and I dive deep into this in the Academy. But the ultimate thing with this is to figure out a vibe. So you've got your color, you've got your fonts, you've got the overall vibe and feel and appearance of what it is that you're going for. And I want you to know that with these 3 things and beyond with branding, it comes down to consistency. It not only comes down to what we talked about yesterday with being your authentic self and not trying to be something you're not, but it comes down to consistency. It comes down to you doing that one thing, that one color that you're gonna have in that picture 20 times plus. It comes down to you doing that one picture and writing that caption out and provoking that emotion 20+ times. That's how you create a brand. That's where your audience knows what to expect and they know who you are. So the only way to do it and to slay at branding is to start. And yeah, it will evolve over time. My brand has evolved tremendously over time, and I have tweaked it and moved it and, you know, rejigged certain things that I really want people to feel in the way that I want to feel, in the way that I want to portray myself, in the way that I authentically am. But that's all it is. It's consistency. The best part about it, and we're going to get down to confidence and how to grow that, but when you own what you do and you are being your authentic self and you're proud of it and you know it better than anybody, then it's butter. Then it doesn't become complicated anymore to post, and you don't have those days where you sit there and you're like, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to say, because it just comes because it's you. You're being your authentic self. You know what you're talking about. You're talking about your own life. You're talking to your audience and you're interacting with them. And it's real. And that's how you don't have to sit there and be convoluted about it and be like, how am I going to get someone to buy something from me? It's not about that. It's just about being a real human. So branding to me is incredible amounts of consistency, figuring out the vibe that you want to put out, the emotions that you want to evoke, and the topics that you want to talk about, and staying incredibly consistent with it and staying with it over time. I hope that this hit home for you. And I would love if you would share your 3, share your colors and your vibe that you're going for, share the topics, and share the emotions that you want to evoke. And you can start kind of brainstorming that. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, dude.
Let's go.